everyone who's joining us here in the room. Give yourselves a big, gigantic round of applause. I want to say thank you to everybody who's filing in the room inside the corrections over at Casa Grande. Can we give them a gigantic round of applause? Big, gigantic thank you out to Unit 2J. I'm going to be in there to see you soon in the Clark County Detention Center, the City of Las Vegas Detention Center, and everyone who's watching live all over the globe on the Hope for Prisoners Facebook Live page. Can we give them a gigantic round of applause? And boy, oh boy, do we have a gigantic treat for you today, hailing all the way from the beautiful cold state of Wisconsin. He's going to be joining us tonight, my dear friend, Ed Hennings is going to be joining us tonight. But we're going to start off tonight with any testimonies anybody I'd like to share. I know there was quite a few people who graduated. Somebody who graduated last week maybe can come up, and she shook her head and said no. I put you all over social media. You was all happy. Now you don't want to come and say anything. Anything that has happened in your life. Come on up. Come on, give her a big, gigantic round of applause. Act like the leader that you are. Look right over there in that camera right there. And what is that you like to share with us?
On the 17th, I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good deal. Wait, before you go, because I know one day you stood up being told us how long you've been clean and sober. Have you lost count, or you just keep going?
I just keep going, but I've got over 60 days.
Oh, give her a big, gigantic round of applause. 60 days clean and sober. Actually, we are so very, very happy for you. Anybody else in the room inside Casa Grande while you finish eating all that pizza? Anything you want to share? If not, we can dive right in, because I promise you, when you guys are in for a gigantic treat tonight. Going once, going twice. Well, let's get into it. Everybody say, let's go. Hey, before we do, let me just open you up in prayer, and then I'm going to read this young man's bio. And man, oh man, are you going to be truly blessed. So, Father, we just come before you right now in the name of Jesus. Thank you for this evening. And thank you for waking us up once again with you on our mind and you on our heart. God, giving us another breath of life to live for you. Father, I want to thank you for all the men and women that are gathered here in this room over in Casa Grande. God, those who are joining online, we just thank you for them, God. We ask you to bless them. We invite you into the midst of this huddle up, God, because we know that if you don't huddle up with you, God, there is no sense of huddling up. We love you, we worship you, and pray you this prayer in the matchless name of your Son, Jesus Christ. And then in Jesus' name we say amen. All right, now I want everybody to say to get ready. No, say it like you mean it. Say, get ready. Get ready. Mike, you didn't say anything. Say, get ready. Say, this is going to be good. Hi, Susie. Hi, how are you? Oh, my gosh, it's so good to see you. Well, let me go ahead and read his bio. He's not someone who is new to Hope for Prisoners. He's been here multiple times. But every time he comes, he certainly blesses our life. I'm talking about my dear friend, Mr. Ed Hennings. Edward Hennings is a successful award-winning Milwaukee-based author, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, life coach, mentor, and a policy reform advocate. He possesses a supernatural energy and drive for success. Edward has drawn on his experiences in the trucking business and expanded his brand, now called Go Time Trucking, which allows him to break into new arenas, trucking apparel, footwear, and all the while continue to educate and coach others on building a successful logistic business. If you guys are please put your hands together and give a warm Hope for Prisoners welcome for my dear friend, Mr. Ed Hennings. Ed, welcome to the Huddle Up.
Man, thank you guys for having me, man. It's always a pleasure and an honor to talk to the guys and the ladies that's going through some similar things that I've been through myself. So it's never any hesitation when you send the invite, man. I'm always up for it. And I just want to thank you guys for having me. From there, I'll just tell you guys my story. My name is Ed Hennings. I'm here from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I started my first business in 2017, early 18, which was a barbershop and beauty salon. My second business, a few months to a year after that, was my trucking business, which they mentioned in my bio, Go Time Trucking. I wrote a couple of books in 2019, which is in the prison system now here in Wisconsin. And lastly, 2022, I started a footwear business. Started a footwear business for people that's in the workplace. Steel toe boots, all the way up to people that work in the office space. So if you guys see some Ed Henning shoes, man, that's me, man. That's my latest creation. And I just know I've been on the grind for the last 7 years. And I just wanted to, Michael Jordan make shoes for basketball players because he played basketball. And I'm a guy that's on the grind. So I got shoes for people that's on the grind. Like I said, whether it's a construction site or in the office, them Ed Henning shoes, I want to get them on the feet of everybody that's on that grind. But before all of these things, I spent 20 years in prison. From June 11th, 1996 to October 18th, 2016. I was in the Wisconsin Department of Corrections. I went in facing life. I went to a jury trial. I pleaded self-defense, and I got found guilty of a lesser included offense of first-degree reckless homicide, which where you guys are at are probably called manslaughter. But where I'm at is called first-degree reckless homicide. First-time offender, I was given the max of 40 years, and I served 20 of the 40. And during that 20-year time I was in prison, I went on a mission of personal self-development. I want a mission to make myself the best version of Ed that I can be. And that meant physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every way possible. I didn't want to leave no leaks. I didn't want to leave any loopholes in the game. You know how a person can give you some workout on a piece of paper and say, if you follow this workout, you can have the body that you want. So it's not really the workout. It's the person that got the workout that can't execute what's on that paper. I wanted to be the person that whatever piece of paper or whatever opportunity or whatever instruction came in front of me, I could be the person that could execute it. Because in the past, I wasn't that person. I like to say that I went to prison June 11th, 1996. But in all actuality, I was in prison long before June 11th, right? I was in prison long before that date because mentally, I was already there. It just took a few more years for my body to catch up with my mind, with my thoughts, with my belief. All of those things had already taken place. And I know you guys can relate to that. Like when I was released in 2016, I was free way before my body got free. I had already freed myself from the low self-esteem, freed myself from the broken dreams that I had lost. You know, the belief in myself. All of those things were gone, and I had to get them back. And the more I got them back, the more I began to live again. The more I began to free myself from so many things that had plagued me before I got in there. So when people start saying, man, Ed, you came home 7 years ago and you've been doing great. You've been doing awesome. I say, no, it wasn't 7. It was 27. It was those 20 plus the 7 that I had a chance to work on me. You're the first business that you ever gonna own. I know we talking about entrepreneurship. We want to make this money. We want to do these things, but you are the first business that you ever gonna run. And if you can't run that business right, you can't run any other business right. So we tend to think that when I get to this point, I'm gonna be happy. But you gotta be happy on your way to happy. I heard a lady say that to me on the internet. She said, you gotta be happy on your way to happy. Why? Because you take you everywhere you go. So you gotta work on those things right now. This is the best time for any of us to start to become the person that we want to be. Everything else is going to take care of itself, because if you become that dude, if you become that lady, you become that woman, You become that man, everything is gonna come to you because you took your time to build the man that could go out and take on that world. But if you relying on somebody else, if you relying on some other things besides self, then it may happen, but it may not happen. The closest thing to you getting something done is building yourself into that person. I've learned on my journey that there's no such thing as failure. God made us already equipped with everything we need to make it in this world. We just have to use it. So what I'm saying to you is there's no such thing as failure. If you're willing to work hard enough and long enough, you can accomplish anything. It's just that when things don't come fast enough for most of us, or it's too much work, we quit, we give up. So get it in your mind right now, I can't fail. I can quit. I can give up, but I can't fail. So when people say that, like, yeah, you're gonna make some mistakes. You're gonna fail in a sense, but if you just keep going, if you just take this time right now to study all of the people that you deem successful and just study them, read their stories, read what they went through. And if you're willing to adopt those same mentalities, you can repeat that same success. So that I did in 20 years. I studied with the most successful people. I read their stories. I read stories about people whose parents dropped them off and they were left for dead and they came out highly successful. And I said, man, my story to end like that. I don't want my story to end like this. Because when I was going to trial and I was waiting for that jury to come back with a verdict, I was pacing in that holding cell. I was pacing back and forth, waiting for a jury to decide would I ever see the free world again. And I made some promises. I made some promises that if I got a second chance, I wouldn't need a third. So with that being said, I held on to that promise. And once I received those 40 years, a lot of people said, man, you got 40 years. I said, man, I see my opportunity. I got my second chance. It didn't come right that day. It didn't come without some work, but I had my second chance. And what I was going to make out of it was on me. Long as the good Lord would wake me up every day, I knew I was going to take my opportunities every day. And when I started adopting that mentality and I started feeding that beast, I started feeding it more and more. See, this thing was about your diet, right? When we talk about diet, we talk about what we put into our bodies, what we put into our stomachs. And sometimes we eat the wrong things and we get an upset stomach. So just like what you put in your mind is your diet, what you allowing to go into your mind, what you watching, what you reading, what you listening to. That's a big part of your diet. And if you put the wrong things in your mind, you're going to have an upset mind, just like you have an upset stomach. You see, when I was growing up, there was 3 homicides in my neighborhood, and they affected me. They made me make promises to myself that I would always protect myself and I wouldn't allow anybody to harm me. It sounds logical, right? But after I listened to the music, they say, hey, man, kill or get killed. Then I watched the movie that say, kill or get killed. Then I hang around the fellas that say, kill or get killed. See, now I'm feeding that beast. My diet. You see my diet? So my diet was the movies, the fellas, the music. Everything I fed myself said, man, you got to be ready out here in these streets. So I had to change my diet. I had to change what I put into my mind. So I started watching movies where people was facing insurmountable odds and they overcame the odds. I started reading stories about people that was faced with things that we couldn't even imagine and they overcame it. I started listening to music that said, hey, man, you can do it. You can do anything. You can do it. So my diet changed. And when my diet changed, my whole way I conducted myself changed. So I pay attention to my diet now. When I'm around people and I start telling them about some business endeavors and they don't look like they too sure that I can do it, I'm out of there. I'm out of ASAP. I don't want that on my plate. I don't want Ed. It's going to be hard on my plate. Ed, it's going to be tough on my plate. Ed, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. You're not putting that on my plate. Only thing going on my plate is, Ed, you got this. Ed, you got it. Push, push. You know how it is in that weight room, fellas. Push, push. That's all I want on my plate. If I see any second guessing, I'm out of there. I can't have that in my diet. That's going to upset my mind. That's going to upset my stomach, right? That's not good food. So that's why I've been able to accomplish the things that I've been able to accomplish, because I went on a serious mission of self-development. Like I said, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Even if you get these things done and you got poor physical health, you're not going to be able to enjoy it anyway. So you have to have the mental, the physical, as well as the spiritual. You got to have all of these things. And life is tough for everybody. We all know this. It's not easy for anybody. Everybody has battles. Everybody thinks and assumes that their battle is the worst battle. They might have a lot of money. They might have financial status, but they still fighting a battle. They might not have the discipline to stop drinking or the discipline to do other things in their life, like getting up early and getting to the gym, like stop eating all that sugar. Everybody has a battle. We look at ourselves and say, man, my battle was tougher than yours. Each and every one of us think that. So for you to just focus in on what your battle is every day you wake up, you have that battle. And if you can go to sleep at night saying, I gave it my best, you should be able to sleep well every night. But if you go to bed and you lay your head on that pillow and you say, you know what? I could have did a little more. I could have pushed a little harder. Then that's a conversation you got to have with yourself. So if you're telling yourself, I really didn't give it my all, I gave it about 70%. So how do you expect a maximum return on giving a half effort to your life? You can't get that back in return. You're not giving it your all. So the people and the times in your life that you can recall, whatever you gave 100% to, you probably accomplished it. And that's how God made us. He made us equipped to do that. So I gave my 100% to the streets. And next thing you know, I was facing the rest of my life in prison. So I got the return on my investment. What I gave my all to, it came back to me. So you got to really look at, what are you giving your all to? What are the things that keep you up at night? What are the things that you can pop out of that bed for like that? Because some things we want to do, but it's a struggle getting out of the bed. But it's some things, when that phone ring or when somebody knock on that door, it's some things you jump right up for. I don't know what it is in each individual's life, but it's something that can get you up like that. It may not be the gym. It may not be the library. It may not be the job, but it's something that phone ring and somebody knock on that door. It's something you want bad enough to jump right out that bed, just like that. And that's where you got to start figuring some things out. Because a lot of us, where we from, we wish it was just go to school, get good grades, get a good job. But we know that it's a little bit more to it, because we have to navigate ourselves through the fellas in the hood. We got to navigate ourselves through brokenness at home. We got to navigate ourselves from some other things that's going on in our lives. If it was just school, then we probably all could ace that. But we got some other distractions. We got some other things that's going on. And we have to be equipped. So programs like this, continuing to be around people that can help you. Because I've seen this a lot lately, where greatness is in your presence. Greatness is trying to pour into you. But guess what? You already shut off. You already shut down. You won't even allow the greatness to consume and be a part of your life. Because you got some great people in your life, but you done cut that off. You already got this hard mentality. Now you want to allow people and greatness to be poured into you. So you got to open up. Because if it's a lid on the cup, we can't pour nothing in there. I've been hard like that. I've been telling everybody they was old. That was back in 1965. This 1985 now. That's old. Yeah, but I found out fire was hot in 1960 and fire's still hot today. So when you start thinking that, you got to humble yourself and let greatness come in. because I was so hard that I wouldn't allow it. I wouldn't have it. But when we in situations like we in now, we more open to receive some greatness. We more open to receive some instruction that can really change our life. But when we out there moving and shaking, we ain't trying to hear that. We ain't trying to accept some good information from somebody else. So take this time to gather in as much knowledge and information and start to execute it. Start to do something. Because I'm going to tell you something. And I don't know that much. I spent 20 years in prison. I'm not the most knowledgeable in a lot of areas in business. I don't know accounting. I don't know business plans. I don't know all of that. But what I do have is a strong work ethic. What I did adopt and what I did build in myself during that time was that nobody was going to outwork me. And I figured that out just by reading other people's stories and how hard they work. And if you smart, you know a lot, because we read a lot, we smart, we intelligent, we know a lot of things, but we don't do nothing. So it's people out there that don't know as much as us, but they gonna do something. So when you a doer, when you take action, you don't even need to know half of that stuff. Half of that stuff not even necessary for you. But if you a doer, you can overcome what you don't know. If you a doer, you can overcome some mistakes. If you a doer, you can make some things happen more than people that think they know more than you. So while some of us are sitting in these seats right now thinking we know so much, but don't do nothing, you got to change that. You got to change that. Stop knowing so much. That's probably what's hindering you. You think you know so much that you don't have to do nothing. You're going to talk your way, or you're going to slick your way through. See, it's the big three. We taught this early on, and I want y'all to write this down. It's the big three. When we have a daughter or we have a son, we say, oh, you so cute. Oh, you so smart. Oh, you so talented. Those three things are the least things you need to be worried about. Being cute or handsome, being smart and intelligent, and being talented. Those things probably get you in way more trouble than anything else. You know what the big three really is? The big three is your work ethic. Are you lazy? Do you get up? Do you work hard? Number two, how's your character? Do you have good character? And number three, how you respect other people. Those three things can take you a long way in life, a lot more than cute and handsome, a lot more than smart, and a lot more than talented. So start working on those big three and throw those other big three to the side. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being handsome and cute. We want to look our best. There's nothing wrong with being intelligent. You can read a book and regurgitate and spit what you read right back. That's cool. And ain't nothing wrong with being talented. You got all the talent in the world. But if you're lazy, what good is all that talent and intelligence gonna do you? You're too lazy. So all of that's gonna go to waste if you're a lazy person. So all I want you to do is take this time to focus in on your grind. Where your grind at? I'm out here grinding with some people, and I'm telling you, I'm out here every day in my trucking business. I'm out here every day selling shoes. I'm pushing. But guess what? It's some people out here, they don't work hard. And I know it's not going to go because you don't go. Businesses don't work, you do. You have to get your grind up. So how I did that was baby steps. Because I was in the streets, I didn't like getting up. I didn't like putting in that work. I felt like, you know what? I'm in the streets. I get money the way I get it. But let me tell you something. You got to take baby steps. It's like a person that never read a book. If you never read a book before, I'm not going to give you a whole book and say, read that whole book. You don't read. Give me a sentence. Read me a sentence. And then after you get comfortable reading a sentence, then we're going to go to a paragraph. Once you get a paragraph down, we're going to go to a whole page. From a page to a chapter, from a chapter to a book. So that's how you kind of build that muscle. Because that's what I look at it like. I look at like your grind is a muscle. Your muscle weak right now. You ain't used to getting up at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. You're not used to that. You're not used to staying up later than everybody else. So what I did, when I was in my cell, I would get up every day and clean my cell. My cellmate would lay in the bed. Everybody say, hey man, Ed, you keep cleaning up that room every day. Your cellie don't even get up. I said, you know what? It ain't even about him. I got some habits that I need to break. I need some habits I'm working on. But they didn't understand it. But fast forward to me home now, and those habits is me getting up every day and getting after it. I'm in a habit of getting up every day and getting after it. Needless to say, people that was in the cell with me that didn't get up every day, what kind of habits do you think they formed? Habit of laying in that bed every day. Habits are hard to break. So right now, if you developing a habit of staying in the bed all day, don't think when that door open up, you just gonna be this, oh, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna be a go-getter. It don't happen like that. You got habits. You in a habit of laying in the bed. You just out here now, laying in the bed. It's not gonna change. You gotta change that stuff right now. You gotta make the changes you need to make right now while you in this situation, because you got all the time and all the energy and all of the, you don't have the distractions right now. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of your opportunities. Every little opportunity you might think is little, but every opportunity is valuable. It's so valuable because I squandered every opportunity before I went in. And that was a part of my promise. When an opportunity come my way, I'm gonna make good on it. I'm not gonna squander these opportunities continuously over and over and over. And that's what I did. And that was part of my self-development of saying, you know what? You squandered a lot of opportunities. Now, that's how I heard about trucking. I was cutting somebody's hair in my chair. He told me about he had a truck and he was making money. And what type of money he was making, I said, man, I need to get in that game. Guess what? He gave me the opportunity, and I've been in the trucking business ever since. Because opportunity is gonna constantly come. You're gonna be in the presence of somebody. You're gonna come across an opportunity. But the problem has been in the past, we haven't been in position, once again, to execute. We always saying, man, if I would have just not spent my money, if I would have just not went over there, if I wouldn't have just not did this, I would have been in position. So stop going over there. Stop just spending money. Stop just doing things. Be in position because the opportunity is coming. Be in position financially. Be in position physically. Be in position because the opportunity is coming. Whether it come from a person, whether it come from something you see on TV, the internet, in a book, the opportunity is going to present itself. The question is, will you be in position this time to make good on it? Because it's coming. Long as the good Lord wake you up every day, you're going to be in position. You're going to position yourself to say, hey, it's coming. It's coming down the pipe. So every day I'm positioning myself. I'm working hard. I'm putting back. I'm doing the proper things with my time, with my body, with my money. So therefore I can be in position when my opportunity comes, because it's coming. One thing I want to tell you is that Benjamin Franklin said something. He said a quote that men die at 25. We just wait to 75 to bury him. So going back to what I said about being in prison before I got to prison. Men die at 25. We just wait to 75 to bury him. That was his quote. And that hit home with me when I started to make the changes in my life, because I realized that when I lost my hope, when I lost my confidence, when I lost my dreams, I knew then that, I was just pretty much existing. I wasn't in the ground, but I wasn't above ground. You know what I mean? I was just basically trying to consume. I'm going to eat the most. I'm going to drive the best. I'm going to wear the best before my time here is up, right? And that's when you're just not really living. You're just existing. So to live, you got to get that belief in yourself back. You got to get your dreams back. If you have no dreams, what are we doing? Just, we got to face some hard truths. We got to look in this mirror and say, man, you know what? I got to get my dreams back. I got to start dreaming. And I'm not talking to you guys like it's easy. I had to serve 20 years in that place, man, facing the rest of my life. So I know and I empathize and I feel it. I know. I asked my mom one day, I said, Mom, when I go into the prison and speak, I feel the pain. I feel the energy from the guys. And I said, was I like that when y'all came and seen me? My mom literally told me, she said, yes. I thought because I had a nice haircut. I thought because I put on my crispy greens, my clean prison clothes, and I went on the visit, then my mom and my people couldn't tell. But they could tell. You can see it. And no matter what you do, you got to take that and use that as your fuel. That's your fuel to say never again. That's your fuel to constantly push you to heights that you didn't even think you can go to. I use that as my fuel every single day of my life. It's that, man, this is my shot. This is that second chance I asked for, and I'm not blowing it. As long as I can keep that mentality at the front of my brain, man, I can do anything out here. And that's my mentality. And I know I'm no different from you. I'm no different than anybody. You just got to adopt that mindset. You got to adopt that mindset that I'm willing to do whatever it is I need to do to get this done, for however how long it takes. And those are the type of things that not many of us want to do. Not many of us want to think like. But we passed that, many of us, because we've already entered into a realm of our lives that, we got to start doing some different things. We got to start thinking some different thoughts. And that starts with saying, you know what? The odds is 1 in a million. That's good enough for me, because I think I can be that one. It's not discouraging to me anymore. When people used to say, man, only 10 out of a million do that. Well, count me in then, because I think I'm one of those 10. I'm one of those 10. And that's the mindset that each and every one of us needs. And start feeding that today. Start reading the Ed Henning story. Start reading the Nelson Mandela story. Start reading the Jim Carrey story. Start reading the stories of people that was counted out. And eat that every single day. Right now, I'm pumped right now. I just have to, pump the brakes a little bit and power down. But I know what you're capable of. I know what you have in you. I got a best friend, man, was born with one arm. And he don't quit. So who am I? I got 2. I got my feet. I got functioning eyes and ears and everything. Man, I better start using this stuff. I can't take it with me. Oh, I'm resting. I'm sleeping every day to take it with me. You can't take this stuff with you. This stuff is to be used right here. The muscles you got, that good knowledge you got, that energy, that's to be used right here. That's what God gave it to us for. To do what we need to do right here. After we gone, He gonna take care of that. But right now, we gotta do what we gotta do with what we got, because we have it. Some of you right now know more than me. Some of you right now stronger than me. Some of you right now more talented than me. So you can come out here and do way more than what I'm doing. Just get ready. Prepare yourself every single day, because your time is coming. The only question is you gonna be ready? Is you gonna be ready for your time? Because your time is coming. Some people's coming sooner than others. But start getting ready now. Don't wait till the last 3 months. Don't wait till the last year. Start getting ready right now. Every moment you got to better yourself, take it. Take that shot, because it's going to pay off for you. It's going to pay off. I just want you guys to know that. It's nothing that you can't do. It's nothing that you get to. Let me see some other things I would like to say to you that about parenthood, because that has come front and center for a lot of us, is parenting. I have children. I was gone for 20 years and had left 5 children out into the world. So I had to come back and reconnect. And some of my kids didn't want to connect. I was blessed that some did, but some just didn't want to have nothing to do with Ed. And Ed have to live with that. So when you hear Ed got the barbershop, Ed got the trucking business, Ed got the shoe footwear brand now, Ed drive this, Ed live here, but Ed still have real life issues. Ed have real life issues too. Ed have a daughter that he has to, reach out to from time to time and say, sweetheart, the door is always open. So I'm not sitting here talking to you as if it's all gravy. Nah, I'm dealing with things just like you are. It's just that I made a decision to say, you know what, I have to live with it. I have to deal with it, but in a healthy manner. I have to deal with it with a perspective that a lot of work and a lot of prayer, and we can make some things happen in that space right there. So I just wanted to be transparent with you guys, because sometimes I come on and I speak about the accomplishments and I speak about the mentoring and the motivational speaking, but also I want to let you know this is real, man. I had 5 kids when I went in, and a couple of them wasn't trying to hear it when I came home. And that's me being transparent and totally honest. So that's that right there. And I definitely wanted to disclose that, as well as an open apology, a very honest and open apology, because I feel like an apology is just words until you change your life. And that's a true apology. Because if you repeat what you did before, you really didn't apologize. You just manipulated the system. You just manipulated the people that you apologized to, because you went right back and did the same thing. So I tried to apologize by changing my life, not just by saying it out my mouth. But what I want to say to you individuals right now, I'm 51 years old. I'll be 52 in February. So those of you that's younger than me, I want to say a deepest apology to each and every one of you, because some of the roads that you've taken, I paved the way. I made decisions and choices that led and paved the way for the people coming after me to repeat that same behavior. So I apologize to you guys today for not being the Ed Hennings that you hear and that you're looking at right now, because I wasn't always this person. I had to turn that thing around, but I also understand, and I'm not too high and mighty to say I apologize, because had I been this person before, at least one of you might have not went down the road that you went down to do the things that you do, because I made doing the wrong thing look bad to my little brothers. I made the wrong thing look bad to a lot of people in my hood, and they went right behind me because they thought what Ed was doing was slick, what he was doing was sharp, what he doing was cool. So I always like to apologize to the young people coming after me that made decisions and choices that was identical to mine. But I also want you to understand grace and mercy, because a lot of people made some decisions and choices that I made, and they ain't here to do this. They didn't get that second chance. I made it out the game by hair. I was facing life. I didn't get a plea or anything. So by the grace of God, I made it. And I was going to take that opportunity, because I knew and I watched individuals that didn't do as much as I didn't get that second chance. So you, by grace and mercy, no matter what you did, you got this shot. You got this chance. Some of the fellas, some of the girls didn't make it. They didn't get this shot that you got. So take that shot, and you take it and you execute. You take your life into your own hands. I didn't get a new mama when I came home. I didn't get a new dad. I got control of my life, because these people may not never change. The fellas may not never change. The girls may not never change. That don't concern you. That's between them and the man upstairs. But you got total control over your life. You have to take that. You got to say, hey, you didn't fix yourself, Pops. I'm going to fix myself. I'm going to fix myself. And that's what I did. I had to say, hey, you got a right to do what you want to with your life. You can throw it away if you want, but I want more for mine. I want to do more with my life. I want to help some people. I don't want anybody to feel this pain that I feel. I don't want anybody to see what maximum security prison look like. I want to come out, but I think I can get more than one. I did a thing for the youth about 2 weeks ago, and the parents only brought in four young men. And before we started, the people say, man, we could just save one. And when only 4 of the young men was only in attendance, a lot of the people that was going to speak was disappointed because it was only 4. And I had to remind them. I said, remember y'all said that we could save just one. And I said, here we got 4. Let's go get them 4. Let's go change them 4. So it didn't matter that it was only 4 people in attendance. It mattered that our perspective from the get-go was we could just save just one. We was blessed to have 4. Undivided attention. And I think we made some headway with these young men. And that's what it was all about, is stand true to what you said from the get-go. You know, when the going is tough, we make a lot of promises like, man, I ain't going through this no more. But when it get a little bit easier for you and some of that pain get lifted, we kind of lose focus on the promises that we made when we were at the bottom. So always hold true to what you said you wanted to do for yourself and stick with that, right? And lastly, I'm looking at the clock here. I want to end with this. It's something that I have put down that I want to say to you. And that's that we all start with endless possibilities. When we're born, possibilities are endless. We're born pure. We come into the game pure of heart. Opportunity can be anything we want, all of those things. But the question I want you guys to ask yourself is what happened? What happened along the way? What happened along the way to take away that pureness? Take away your perspective and view of yourself, of what you was capable of doing in this world. You know, when we kids, man, we can leap tall buildings in a single bound. What happened to us? What happened? Because if I go in a room full of people 30, 40 and up and ask them, did they pursue their dreams in life? I've done this. And most people say no. We just settle. We just settle for that job. We just settle for getting by. We just settle for whatever. What happened to us when those dreams were taken away? What happened when that pureness was taken away? So when you do that self-analysis and you go back and you realize this when your dreams were snatched or chipped away at, you realize when the belief in yourself was robbed of that, and you can start putting the pieces back together. You can start understanding when and where, these things start to take place. You can start to say, you know what, I can reverse the effects of what happened, and I can start to rebuild. I can start to rebuild those possibilities. I can start to rebuild that man or that woman that came into the world capable of becoming anything that they want to be. It's still there. It's still in you. It's not gone. It's not gone. Once again, whatever beast you feed gonna get stronger. It's just the beast of negativity, the beast of low self-esteem, the beast of I can't. We fed that for a long, long time. And it's time to starve that beast. Start feeding the beast of endless possibilities again. And starting to believe in yourself, man, and feed that. What you read, what you watch, what you listen to, and who you hang around. That's it. I thank y'all for having me. It's always an honor to join you guys, man. And I hope to make you take this time to kill a game, man. I'm trying to keep it kind of subdued a little bit, but yeah, you guys take it, man, and accomplish and achieve whatever you want in this life, because you got it.
Man, can we give Ed Hennings a big, gigantic round of applause? Author, motivational speaker, entrepreneur. Was that some good stuff? Hey, so we're going to open up for some questions and comments that you might have for Mr. Ed Hennings right here in the room over at Casa Grande. If you're at Casa Grande, please slip up your hands. If you're on Facebook Live, just drop something in the chat as Chad is monitoring the chat. Boy, oh boy, there was a couple of really good nuggets that I had written down that Mr. Hennings had shared. He said, you have to be happy on your way to being happy. Was that good? Open up. Yeah, give my hand for that. That was good stuff. You have to be happy on your way to being happy. So open it up right here in the room. Any questions or comments anybody might have? Or we go live over to Casa Grande, Nevada Department of Corrections. Any questions, comments? There we go. We have somebody over inside Nevada Department of Corrections. Please step up, tell us your name, and what is that question or comment that you might have for Mr. Hennings?
Well, just have a comment. My name is Johnny Anguiano, and I'm nervous, John.
Don't
I
be.
just have I relate to a lot of what he said. I came to prison when I was 25 in 2000, and this is my second rep. On my third rep, my first rep I did 10 years, and I was on the yard, like doing the most and stuff, and not thinking about my kids or whatever that was out there. When I came to prison, my 24-year-olds were babies; they were in diapers, and I was just doing the most and not thinking about the things like to take classes or anything like that for me to change. And this time, I relate to the time that he said he got, because I got the same time. I got 16 to 40 years this time. And I'm working on my 9th right now, and I have like 7 more years to go. And I was blessed because my kids are still there for me, you know, like they never turn their back on me, and they come to see me faithfully every week. That's right. You know, and they don't hold nothing against me because everything I did out there, I did for them. I was with their dad for a while, and when I first came to prison and I did my 10 years, he waited for me the first 6. After the first 6, he just started doing his own thing. So my kids depended on me, so I just was doing whatever I could do to support my kids and stuff. So I relate to everything that you were saying. And now this time around, I'm focusing on me. I'm in CSN right now, and I'm taking classes. I'm a first-year student, and this is my 2nd semester that I'm starting. And I'm starting to work on myself and not be as strong as I thought I was before, because I was walking the yard, doing the most and just being hard. And this time, I'm walking around here with a smile on my face, talking to people I never would imagine I would have talked to before, you know, and just trying to change who I used to be to who I am now. Because I was blessed, because in my accident, I had a fracture in my neck. So by the grace of God, I'm able to stand here before you with the ability to walk, you know, because I could have been in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, you know. So I know that God has a plan for me. You know, I just don't know what it is yet. You know, I recently got baptized, and I've been in my Bible and just asking God to forgive me for everything that I did.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I have grown children that followed in my footsteps, you know. I have one boy in prison right now. I have my nephew in prison, all because they followed everything that I was doing. I have one son that just got out of prison, and by the grace of God, he's doing really good, you know, and I keep telling him, just keep going, you know, keep putting your foot in front of the other. You know, that's why I want to do good in here, because when I do eventually get out there, I want to show my kids that I did change and not keep breaking those promises that I wrote to them a long time ago. Because every time I got out, I would tell them now I would change, and I never changed. So everything you said, I relate to, you know. So
yeah.
Thank you for that.
That is so good. Give her a hand for that.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Wanted to open up any other questions or comment that you might have for Ed Hennings. In the room, going twice. Okay, anybody? Grande. Something that Ed Hennings said that resonated with you before I go to my notepad? Well, let me tell you something else that you had said, Ed. Oh, somebody's behind us? You got my back, so I got your back. Yeah, we're going to go back over to Nevada Department of Corrections. Step up, tell us your name, or what is that question or comment that you might have?
My name is Aaron Olivetti. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time out to speak with us, man. I'm real nervous to be up here. I told myself to come up and talk because I never would do this before, and I need to change things in my life. So
that's right.
I'm coming up here today to say thank you. I appreciate you. for coming out. Life's a choice, a whole bunch of choices we need to make, man. And I appreciate you making the choice to come and speak to all of us today. You're an inspiration, knowing that someone that's done time as much as I've done too, and I'm sure everybody has time, man. We feel that, I guess, sometimes in life that's the path we got to stay on, because that's what we do. We're felons. That's how people look at us, and that's not what it is, man. We are not defined by the shit that we have done, or excuse my language, by the things that we've done, man. But I just want to thank you and appreciate you, Jon, his whole squad, his whole team, everybody that has faith in us, that keeps trying to push us and motivate us to do the right things in life, man. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That is so good. Thank you so much. And Ed Hennings, man, thank you so very, very much for making a huge impact and joining us here tonight. And thank you for always responding to the call. Whenever I reach out to Ed and ask him, hey, can you get on the huddle? I don't think he has ever told me no. And you can hear the passion in his voice and his commitment to being able to help other people that have traversed down the same journey that he has been on. You have a question, comment? Well, come up real fast, because we got about 30 seconds. It's one of those TV 30 seconds too, which means it's like a real 30 seconds. Look at the camera. What is that question or comment you might have for Mr. Hennings?
Sounds good. My question would be, where do you gain the confidence, and as well as much as the confidence, the mental safety that someone needs, the mental going through mental things such as depression and anxiety, stuff like that, coming out of jail? What would be the best advice you can give to get into the right steps? I'm here today trying to change my life. And if there's any other advice you can give me, I did come a little late. That was my fault. But I do have that question. What is things that you can give me as advice that I can go ahead and start doing in life? That way I can start changing my life in a different direction.
Great question.
Okay, yeah, that's a wonderful question, man. And I always say baby steps. Take baby steps. Baby steps as in, if you used to getting up at 10, set your alarm clock for 9. Don't set it for 4. Set it for 9. Once you get good at 9, push it to 8. Once you get 8, push it to 7. And more importantly, like I said before about your diet. Your diet has to be what you read, what you watch, what you listen to, and who you hang around. That's the diet of your mind. So make sure you pay attention to your diet. Your diet is the people you hang around, the things you listen to on music, the things you watch on that TV or the internet, and lastly, the things that you read. So just make sure your diet is positive, it's uplifting, and it's things that consistently say that you can do it. You can't allow anything else but that to enter into your mind. That's all you're going to have on your plate, is you can do it. That's it.
That's right. Thank you so much. Give him a hand for that. Thank you so much for that question. And again, Ed, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And tell us about the steel toe shoes line that you have out.
Yeah, man, I'm all about the grind, man. So
that's right.
My footwear line is work shoes and work boots for people that need safety shoes. That's how it all started. But I've grown in the last year to also have the sneakers for people that work in the office, that work in the office space. So I'm still working with people that go to work every day. It's just also not only people on the work site, construction site, but also people in the office space as well.
That is so good. Do you have a picture of the shoe that you can show us? You can flash? Do you have one there somewhere?
Yeah, I have one for you.
Let me see. Yeah, come on, let me see. There we go.
Wait a minute.
So he's going to get it now. Yeah. Now these are safety shoes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
These are a pair of
Okay. Man, them things is hot, right? Give me a hand for that, man. That is so good. I'm going to encourage you.
And these are some of the ones I have for the office guys.
Okay. And those are the Ed Hennings.
These are the Ed Hennings right in there.
Ain't
You
it?
can see
That's
right
the
in
Hennings
there.
right there. Okay. Man, give my hand for that, man. Yeah. Where's the website that somebody can get them at? Is there a website that somebody can get them?
You can go on Amazon.
Go on
I'm on
Amazon and
Amazon.
look up Ed Henning shoes. I hope that my wife is watching right now because Christmas is right around the corner. But I am going to make sure this is what my commitment is because, you know, we put a lot of people into construction trades, right? And a lot of times we need to get steel toe boots for them. But I'm going to make a commitment that from here until February, everybody that we put into a construction trade that needs steel toe boots, they're going to get some Ed Henning steel toe shoes. Yes. And again, thank you so much very much for coming out. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I want to tell you guys next Tuesday evening, everybody say next Tuesday evening. So we're going to have another Tuesday night huddle up. And there is a young lady who has become a dear friend of mine. And I don't want anybody to miss this. This young lady's name is Mitzi Sanchez. So Mitzi Sanchez is out of Vallejo, California. And she has an absolute incredible story to tell. And it was so good that I'm bringing her in from California to be in this room to have the conversation. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her story. Mitzi Sanchez, and you look it up online. Mitzi Sanchez was kidnapped when she was 8 years old by a man who kidnapped 13 girls prior to her. The 13 other girls prior to her were raped and murdered. And Mitzi Sanchez, God opened up the door for her to be the only survivor. And she tells this incredible story of overcoming, of surviving. She talks about her faith in Jesus, but more importantly, she talks about her ability to forgive the guy who did it. Man, I was on the phone with her for about an hour and a half on Saturday. And you know how sometimes when people say, oh man, that person's spoken to my spirit, right? I really feel that in my spirit. Well, this girl touched my soul, right? She touched my soul. So I'm going to encourage all you guys, everybody, Casa Grande, CCDC, Facebook Live. We're bringing her out here from California. She's going to be right here in this room, and she is going to tell her story. So make sure that you guys join us next Tuesday night, November the 28th from 6 p.m. And this is so good. I'm going to extend it to 8 p.m. This is a 2-hour special. That's how good that it is. All right? Yeah. So good night, everybody. Ed Hinnens, thank you so very much. And we'll see you guys next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you enjoy it with family and reflect on all the things that you're thankful for. And I'm thankful for each and every one of you. Good night and God bless.